welcome back to another reading vlog. So this is week 2 of the Winter Magical Readathon. Today is Monday. I am starting a day late, but that's okay. One day I can catch up. So I just logged in to the Magical Readathon website so that I can get my prompt for chapter 2. I will leave the link to my reading vlog for week 1 down below so you can check it out. I did complete that prompt, so now I can go and start chapter 2. Welcome to chapter 2. It says, morning, it's September 1st, yay, how did you sleep from chapter 1? So warm and cozy at the burrow, bones aching a bit from the old bed, or so peacefully got my breakfast ready downstairs at the leaky cauldron. I definitely would be sleeping at the burrow with Ron and his family. Who wouldn't want to spend time with the Weasleys? It is the morning of September 1st, chilly and crisp. You and the Weasleys make your way to King's Cross Station. When you finally reach the platform, everyone was walking at such a brisk pace you might as well have ran. You actually spot Hermione standing near the platform 9 3/4 column. She's noticed you two and starts waving enthusiastically for you to hurry up. Just as you go to catch Ron's attention, who's been too busy to notice Hermione as he's been gawking at the Muggle clothing, he trips over Ginny's luggage. Ron, watch it. Everyone halts momentarily to help pick up things from Ginny's suitcase that's popped open, spilling her belongings all over the concrete floor of King's Cross Station. You start to lean in to help, but Mrs. Weasley ushers you away. Oh dear, that's quite all right. We got this. Move along. Now, while there's no queue to the entrance, we are right behind you. So now I've got two choices. After double checking they don't need more hands, you head over to Hermione to go through, or stay with the Weasleys, you want to stick with Ron. That's a hard one. So I feel like I would honestly do a combination of both. I would honestly stay with the Weasleys to help, but if there are really, 7 people picking things up and there's like literally nothing left to pick up, then I would double check and then I would head over to Hermione to go through. So that's really hard to say because like you've got 2 friends, so it's like, which one do you go with? I think I would triple check that everything is cleaned up, and then once everything is picked up, then I would head over to Hermione and go through. You see Hermione pass through the barrier between the Muggle and magical world in a very obviously nonchalant way. You follow suit by pretending to be checking for a timetable board overhead when you casually approach the brick wall. It still makes you a bit uneasy. You're expecting to collide with it, making a scene, but as your foot brushes the front of the barrier, it melts away. Your reading prompt. From mundane to magical, read an urban fantasy. So this is usually a fantasy world that exists in secret. For example, Harry Potter is an urban fantasy. So I am actually quite excited to get this prompt because Hannah was just texting me earlier today and she got the same prompt and she was like asking me what books she should read, and she was asking me about like the diviners, and so I may ask her what she's reading. I'm gonna try and find like a shorter urban fantasy book because I really do need to read Children of Blood and Bone, but I don't believe this is urban fantasy, so that wouldn't work, and I don't have any urban fantasy books here on my shelves. I think I may have like 1 or 2 that I haven't read yet, but they're all boxed up in storage. So I may have to just find something different. So I am going to try and find a book for that today, and then I will update you guys later on what I plan on reading and my progress on that. Hey guys, so it is the following day and I wanted to give you another update on what I want to read for the week. So yesterday I was kind of browsing through my public library looking for an urban fantasy book and nothing was really appealing to me, and I really don't feel like reading a large book because I've got so much on my TBR as it is for December, and I'm quite behind on that because of Disney Plus. I've just been watching so many Christmas movies and old movies, like movies from the Disney Channel that I hadn't watched in forever, like Motocrossed, and just all of those really fun movies. Don't Look Under the Bed, movies from my childhood. So that's been taking a lot of my time, and I've just been so lazy and just, yeah, binge watching movies. Boy Meets World, I'm on like season 3 now of Boy Meets World. Anyways, I do need to read, and so I thought I would maybe pick up a graphic novel because I haven't read a lot of graphic novels this year, and that's always a resolution that I say I'm going to do every year, is read more mangas and graphic novels, but I never do. So I thought that I would read a graphic novel for this challenge. As long as the book is on Goodreads, then it can count for a challenge. So I kind of scoured through my public library looking for like an urban fantasy graphic novel. I kind of looked through Goodreads to see what are some of the top urban fantasy graphic novels, and I couldn't really find anything, so I decided to go on to Amazon Prime and see what I could find. And I ended up finding American Vampire by Scott Snyder, Raphael Albuquerque, and Stephen King. Now, I'm a little nervous to read this because it is by Stephen King. It is considered horror, but it is about vampires, but it's set in the 1920s in Los Angeles. So to me, that sounds like urban fantasy, especially since I believe Twilight is urban fantasy, and one of the reviews on this said that it is kind of like Twilight, but it's not romantic at all. It's the like horror version of Twilight, basically. So we follow a girl who lives in LA in the 1920s, and she gets turned into a vampire, and she wants to seek revenge on those who turned her. I'm really intrigued to read this. The illustrations look really interesting. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit gory, which is kind of something to expect when you're reading a horror graphic novel. But one of my favorite graphic novels is Through the Woods, which is a collection of like horror short stories, and I really, really love it. And I think that if I want to dip my toes into reading more thriller, spooky, scary books, then this is probably the way to do it. So I'm really, really intrigued. I do like the style of the artwork though. It kind of has that like older style, and I feel like it goes well with the theme for a setting in 1920. So yeah, 1925, 30 miles east of Los Angeles is the setting. Hopefully this will be really good. I'm quite excited to read it, actually. The last few graphic novels that I tried reading, I just couldn't really get into it. I tried Nimona back during Dewey's 24-hour readathon, and I read like half of it, and honestly I just read it just to complete a challenge, and I never finished it. It was alright. So I'm hoping maybe if I read more like adult, mature graphic novels, I like them a little bit more because I have trouble getting into the younger audience graphic novels. So anyways, that is my plan for my prompt for this week. I think what I'm going to do now is I've just made myself some coffee because I'm getting that like afternoon, like getting really, really tired. So I'm going to drink my coffee, and I think I'm going to sit and read, what is this called? I forget what it's called. American Vampire. I was gonna say Vampire Academy, but no, American Vampire, close to American Vampire Academy, and do that, and then maybe try and get a little bit of reading in Sea Swept, and then potentially go to Target later and try and find a book for Hannah. So that is it for this update, and I will update you guys later. Hey everyone, so it is another day and I wanted to give you guys another update. I did manage to get a little bit read in C-Swept, a little bit more. I read another 50 pages, so I'm really happy with that. Also, last time I updated you, I mentioned that I was reading a graphic novel, American Vampire. I did manage to get approximately 50% of the way through, and I am really enjoying it. It is not what I was expecting, which is good. It's better. It's not overly gory. It is semi-graphic with like violence, but it's not overly graphic, overly gory. There are a few cuss words here and there, but it's not like too extreme. So I'm really liking it. I like the story. I like the premise. The story is very intricate and there's like more to it, and we're following two timelines, which is really interesting. I thought it was going to be like a little bit too much like Dracula and just kind of like cheesy and just not well executed, but no, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I plan on finishing the rest of it probably today because there's not much left to it. Graphic novels go by pretty quickly, but now my main focus is on getting another book for Hannah. Hannah and I are doing like a book exchange where we buy a book, we read it, annotate it, and then we send it to the other person to read. So we are doing two books. We are doing our favorite book, and I'm doing C-Swept, and then the second book we are doing is going to be a surprise, and it's going to be a new adult romance. So that's what I am trying to hunt for. It's kind of more of a new genre, so it's hard to like find good books in that genre. So I may just have to take a chance on that one. So yeah, I'm going to see what Target has, Barnes & Noble, and if they don't have anything, then I'll just order the book that I want on Amazon. So hopefully the book I want is at Barnes & Noble actually. So maybe I'll just go ahead and pick it up today and start it. So yeah, and I thought I would bring you guys along with me. So let's go. So I basically found all of like the adult Christmas romance, but we're doing new adults, so these won't work. Also, these are the romance suspense. This looks more like thriller. Once again, not necessarily new adult, not really what we're looking for. So I don't really think this is going to work. Hey guys, so I just got back from running some errands. It is later on in the evening. I didn't find what I was looking for at Target, and I looked up the book that I wanted, and unfortunately Barnes & Noble doesn't carry it, so I didn't go all the way down there because Barnes & Noble is a good like 15-ish minutes away. So I kind of just was being lazy and didn't want to go, so I figured I would just order the book that I want for Hannah online. I'm actually really excited to read the book that I chose for her. I've watched some reviews and I read a lot of reviews, and I think she may like the premise. So yeah, I'm hoping that I did a decent job with picking this book. So now my plan for the rest of the evening, I think I'm going to sit down, maybe make some tea, and then finish reading American Vampire so that I can check that off my list and have my prompt done, and then potentially pick up C-Swept. I also need to do some filming of like my favorite books of the year, my least favorite books of the year, things like that. I think that's pretty much it for this update, and I will update you guys later. Hey guys, so today is Sunday, and this is going to be my last clip for this reading vlog. I am going to start my new reading vlog after this one, and that's going to be for week 3 of the magical readathon. So my reading progress for this week wasn't as good as my first week for the magical readathon, but I did complete my prompt, so I'm quite pleased with that. I ended up reading American Vampire. So this is like my first horror graphic novel, and I read it to fulfill the prompt of reading an urban fantasy. I think I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I know the last clip I mentioned, I said that it wasn't overly graphic or gory or vulgar. Well, I changed my mind. The second half of this graphic novel gets a lot more intense, a lot more violent, a lot more graphic, and the language is a little bit more vulgar. I wouldn't say it's as bad as like Saga. Saga, I would consider it to be a lot more mature than American Vampire, but this is still not suitable for kids in my opinion, but I really did enjoy it. I think I may continue on with the series. I liked the plot. There was a twist in here that I wasn't expecting. There are 2 different timelines that we're following, and it's very interesting. I also did manage to get a little bit read in Sea Swept, which is the book that I'm giving Hannah for Christmas. Not much. I read like an extra 50 pages or so. So I'm hoping maybe I can tackle it a little bit more. I need to figure out what my prompt is going to be for week 3 of the Magical Readathon and see what I'm going to read during that. I also did purchase the other book I need to give to Hannah. I'm not mentioning it so that I don't spoil her, but I'm hoping that I can use either one of these books for my prompt. Also, I do need to read Children of Blood and Bone as well, because we are reading the second one for our Muggle Studies book club in January. So I need to read the first one so that I'm not reading both of them in January. Also, really quick before I close out this reading vlog, Kevin is sitting right next to me and he's listening to Throne of Glass. Okay, so Kevin is currently listening to Throne of Glass. Ah, here we go. How are you liking it so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah? Do you like this one better than maybe A Court of Thorns and Roses, like the first one?
How many of these are there?
A lot.
Just based on there being a lot, I'm probably going to be more excited.
There's 7 plus a novella.
Yeah, I like long series.
Yeah, you do.
Otherwise, I mean, I don't know if I like it any. I'm not far enough, I don't think, to like compare it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So without spoilers, he just got through the poison test. So, do you know what chapter you're on?
No clue.
No clue.
Compliments of audiobooks. No clue.
You've got like 5 hours remaining, I think you told me.
I'm on this chapter.
Chapter 33?
Yeah. I think that's the scene that I'm in the middle of right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're on page roughly 250. So you've got about 150 pages left. Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're almost there.
Cool.
You can go back. We're done. Anyways, so that is it for this reading vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!